while we're getting started, I'm going to put, you can see this question. If you can answer this question in the chat, what are your top creativity barriers at work? So, and you got your creative hat on and you're all ready to do some interesting innovation, and man, there are things in your way at work. Very curious to hear from you what those are. Go ahead and drop those in the chat, and we'll start there. Time. Yep. Thanks, Jasmine. Stefano says, not sure if I'm self-employed. Oh, but these are coming in fast. Good. Co-workers. Co-workers will do it. Linear thinking from the top. Yes. Bosses who want something now, straightforward. Lack of time again. For folks who are just joining, we're in the chat, typing in, what are your top creativity barriers at work? Other people's strong opinions. This is a good one, Jen. Misunderstanding the purpose of creativity in work life and learning. Jennifer, I'm curious if you're comfortable. How would you articulate that misunderstanding? And you might be on mute. You might have to unmute yourself.
Sure. That misunderstanding comes from, I'm in corporate. So in corporate, it's business, business, business.
Yes.
And we're a technology company. So creativity, yes, there's games and stuff, but creativity is not viewed as an important or positive thing. I actually just came out of a pitch that I did that was a huge success and super creative.
Congrats. Yes.
But because I set guidelines at the beginning that they couldn't talk until it was over.
This is smart, right? When you're a creative person, and you can tell by your background you are, you have to trick people into it, don't you? You gotta be like, listen, you're gonna encounter some things, maybe some new ideas, maybe some mild discomfort, but y'all keep quiet till we're done because you're gonna like it at the end.
And they loved it. Even the one person, because my other one was other people's strong opinions, and that one person that made me write that phrase was in that meeting, and I knew if left free it would be interruption, interruption, interruption.
Yes.
But we set the ground rules that the customer was in the meeting, so she got to hear it, and she got first dibs at all the questions. Then the other two leaders in the room got the next set of questions, and then finally Miss Strong Opinion and another peer got their time.
I love that.
But the smiles, the thumbs up, the nods, it was 100% worth it. So
is this virtual?
It is, yes. I work remotely. So.
Nice. Thank you for walking us through that, Jennifer. A lot going on there. A lot really good to know your team, setting boundaries, understanding, some of those weaknesses that people bring, sometimes out of nervousness, sometimes out of control. But you, as that creative person, saw that coming and allowed that to come out and flourish. Good for you. I love Erica's enough time for deep thinking and ability to let the mind wander. That is huge, isn't it? We're all under such, a lot of people put time in here, that time pressure, but actually giving yourself the grace to, have that free time to take a walk or even take a nap, and trust that is creative time. Good. Good. Okay. So those of you who are just joining, we were just talking in the chat about what some of those creativity barriers are. It is 5 after, so we're going to go ahead and we'll go ahead and get started.
I don't know, I kind of like the music. We could just jam out for the next 55 minutes.
I'm so glad you said that, because I was really enjoying it myself, so much so I actually forgot it was on. So I'm going to turn it off. Thanks for that very subtle hint, Nicole. When we talk with groups about creativity, and Nicole, can you see what's on my screen right now?
Okay.
I got a word cloud up here, and a big one is time. There's fear of failure. There's the environment. We saw a lot of these in the chat. And so, it's just no wonder that creativity suffers at work. I'm sure a lot of you are creatives at home, but when you go to bring it to work, it's a huge challenge. So that's what we're going to do today, is empower you with tools and with experiences that can help you break through these barriers. So to officially get started, my name is David. I'm a change and creativity strategist here at Tier 1. And there are 3 priority things that we'd like for you to do right now to kind of get ready for the next 55 minutes. And the first one is make sure that you have pen and paper. I sent you an email the other day that said, please make sure, right on, Stefano. Thanks for showing it. We're going to get, thank you, Cheryl, a lot, your brain's going and a lot of ideas flying out. So we want to make sure you've got that to sop it up. Make sure your cameras are on. I'm loving that. And please make sure you're on mute unless you're talking, just because we all have dogs or babies or big tractors backing up. And then your speaker view, on the top right, you see a little thing that says view. Make sure it says speaker, because we have 3 or 4 people who are going to be kind of sharing the speaking time, myself, Gib, Gary, and Nicole. And so if in the top right corner you have speaker under view, then that way you'll be able to see whoever is talking. The last part is be brave. We want you to find your courage and step into a kind of new, vibrant way of working. We aren't going to toy or talk about creativity today. We're going to get ready and just jump right in. So our belief here at Tier 1 is that creative vitality is absolutely essential to your work life. That most employees aren't connected to this vitality in their work life. In fact, if you look at some of the numbers, Gallup runs these numbers about how many employees, the percentage of employees that are actually disconnected from their work, and year over year is 70%. They don't like their job and they don't want to be there, so they're certainly not connected into their creative vitality. And then 95% report being stressed out. So if you're one of that huge majority, how in the world are you finding that time that was mentioned earlier to actually let your mind wander? If you're under stress, if you're under fear, there's no way that you can simultaneously take a deep breath and just kind of chill and let your mind wander and go to creative spaces. So we have a couple real important purposes today. The one is to find ways to revive our personal creativity, right? That's that deep well that we need to continue to replenish. And we need to find ways to revive our team creativity while using virtual tools. So the only way we're going to get this stuff done is for me to stop talking about it and for us to actually take action. So as a group, we're going to be creating together using 5 activities. And this way you will be experiencing this creative impulse for yourself. So with all that said, I'm going to pass the baton now to Nicole, who's going to help get us warmed up and get our personal creativity flowing. You ready, Nicole?
Yeah, let's do it. Hi,
Let's do
everyone. Nicole here. I'm a learning strategist at Tier 1. And I'm going to share with you, as David mentioned, what I think is one of the best ways to boost your creativity and something that you can do on a daily basis. So now is that time for your paper and pen. Hopefully, I see some folks scrambling. No, I'm just kidding. Hopefully you've got your paper and pen. And if you develop this creativity habit that we're about to do, it will help you with 3 things. It'll help you generate new ideas. It will help you break through creative blocks, and it will help you improve memory retention. Anyone want to guess, come off mute and guess, what this creativity habit is? And I already gave you a clue with the pen and paper.
Write everything down.
Ooh.
Taking notes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I see drawing in the chat, taking notes. Yes, we're going to frame it up today. All of that is true. And we're going to frame it up today as doodling. And so doodling is an incredible tool to elicit creativity. Most importantly, the best doodles have nothing to do with your creative, your artistic, your drawing ability. So if you're sitting there like, oh my gosh, stick figures are my jam or my thing, totally okay. I'm with you. And so there are different types of doodles. There are, like I said, you don't need any artistic ability. So the different types are patterns. You can do lettering, icons of different objects, and there's lots more. But again, I want you, if you haven't already, take out your pad, a paper, take out your pen or pencil, and let's get started. Now, I'm going to model for you on our virtual whiteboard, but I want you to literally use your pen and paper. We're going to do patterns today. And so I want you to first, and again, do this on your physical paper and pen. I want you to draw a medium-sized square on your paper. And then I want you to fill it in with a pattern, however you see fit.
Nicole, this is probably a good time to point out that the research shows that doodling helps people focus. It'll help you sort things out and deal with stressful or challenging situations. When you feel pressure or you're stuck, doodling can help you process and problem solve.
Hold up, Gib. Let's do a different pattern. All right, friends, let's draw a circle. And then I want you to start doodling with, let's do a different pattern inside of your circle. Okay, sorry, keep going, Gib.
No problem. And doodling can help you center your mind and take away stressors of the day that inhibit creativity. Finally, doodling gives you literal space to add on to ideas you're hearing and generate new ones.
Thanks, Gib. So yeah, remember, my friends, like doodle on the daily. It helps you with those 3 things: new ideas, breaking through creative blocks, improving memory retention. And for this rest of the meeting, the challenge is yours to keep doodling so that you can remember and generate new ideas. So with that, I'm going to pass the pen to Gib.
All right. Thank you, Nicole. Thanks for passing it to me. Hi, my name is Michael Gibboney, and I am, people call me Gib, as you've probably heard people say during the call so far, but I'm a senior change consultant at Tier 1. And now that we've warmed up our personal creativity, let's start to interact creatively with each other. So this is a fun, easy way to warm up your team before a creative session. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the pen that Nicole handed over to me, and wow, this isn't a pen. This is actually a toothbrush. So now I'm going to pass this toothbrush to David through the camera. David, have my toothbrush.
Oh, that's really gross, Gib, but I will accept it. Let me just shake that off for a second. I didn't expect you to stick the pen in your mouth. That was pretty good. But actually, luckily, this is not a toothbrush, Gib. This is a baseball bat. Home run. Back to you, Gib.
Thanks, David. This is a very tiny baseball bat, but I'm actually going to pass this baseball bat on to our expert improviser and guest artist, Gary. So here you go, Gary. Here's
thanks, Michael. This is sort of micro little baseball bat. It's beautiful. I'm Gary Hirsch, by the way. I was excited to be invited to come and be part of this. I run a company called On Your Feet. We're an applied improvisation company. For the last 28 years, we've been looking at how improvisers create, in this instance, on stage, and take those behaviors off stage. We work with companies like Nike and Google. We're based in Portland, Oregon, and excited just to be here to play with you. All of that said, I'm going to take your little teeny baseball bat. I am going to do something crazy with it. I'm going to morph it out a little bit, and then I'm going to take my finger and make it a little bit wider. And then I'm going to turn it, and it is now a telescope that I am going to pass to you, Gib. Tell us what you see.
Okay. Thank you. Oh, it looks like through the magic of the screen, it turned back into, well, a toothbrush. But what I want to do is hand off this. Actually, no, this is it's a telescope again. So let's hand this telescope off to somebody and see what they imagine it could be. So I'm going to find someone to hand it off to. How about Rick? Rick LaFollette? I'm going to hand this to you, and you let me know what comes through on the other side.
It is now a magic wand, which gets you 3 wishes. I'm going to give it back to someone else to make the wishes with the magic wand.
Why don't you go ahead and pick someone, one of your fellow attendees, and see what they want to do with it.
I'm going to pick Russell Richard.
Oh, I thank you very much. So I have 3 wishes with this magic wand. One is for my kids to both brush their teeth morning and night. 2, we just started Little League Baseball again. I hope I don't get picked to coach. 3, actually, I just hope everyone has a great day. And I'm going to pass this on to, or actually, should I pass it on?
Yeah, let's keep it going.
All right. I'm going to pass it over to, I just see Cheryl Becker. Is that first?
All right. Let's see. I got a straw on the other end. I am actually really kind of thirsty, so I'm going to use that magic wand, now a straw, and take a little water break.
Cheers.
Cheers,
Awesome.
everyone. Cheers, everyone. It is water. It is water. I am at work, so
No judgment.
yeah. Cheers to you all. I will take my straw and send it through to Terry Cheney. Here, take this over.
Well, thank you. Speaking of food and drink, it seems to become a very large wooden spoon for making a very lovely soup. Smells garlicky and creamy and beautiful on this very cold day in Minnesota.
That's awesome.
Let's see what Sheila can do.
All right, Sheila, do you want to take the wooden spoon?
Come unmute now. Okay, yeah. All right. Well, I see what you just passed me. Let me see what I got from you. Oh, I got a free airline ticket here. Let me see.
Where are you going?
Where am I going? Let me see. I really want to take the kids somewhere for spring break, but have not had time to do my planning because the work has been, keeping me occupied here. So let me just pass it on to.
Actually, I'm gonna step in and take that airline ticket.
Oh, no.
Just for the sake of moving right along, I'll go ahead and take the airline ticket.
All right, go ahead.
All right. Thank you so much. Well done, everyone. So use the reaction button at the bottom of your screen and give yourselves a round of applause. Because you guys did an amazing job. Or you can just clap. All right. So what that activity did, that improv warm-up, is it increased our focus. It heightened the energy of the meeting. It connected us to each other. And it encouraged a sense of play and openness to all possibilities.
And it made us hungry too. I love the imaginative, airline tickets and then soup in Minnesota, and that was good stuff. And then the 3 wishes, that was good stuff. So before we move forward, just a reminder, make sure you're still doodling. It's just a chill activity, curly cues, little faces, whatever you want to draw something near you. Just keep that going. And I want to acknowledge that we are doing a number of things simultaneously. We are, practicing our creativity boosting exercises. We're working as individuals, we're working as a team, and we're including multiple tools in Zoom, right? So far, we've listened to some music, we've done some slides, we worked with the chat, we've worked with whiteboards, reactions, and even now a magical improv pen. So that's pretty good. The point is, There's a lot going on and there's a lot more that's about to happen. So if you're trying to capture this in notes and you're feeling torn between your notes and your doodles, don't worry. I want to assure you, I'm going to send you an email on Monday that lays out everything we did, all of the different aspects of Zoom that we leveraged, and then all of the reasons why you want to do these things. So you'll get all the notes from me on Monday. So you don't have to worry about that. Just continue to be focused on this experience and participating, because it is about to get even more fun, because we're kicking it over to Gary. Gary, take it away.
Thank you. The pressure's on. I just want to comment. Mark, in the chat, you were like, I used to get in trouble in school for doodling. And me too. In 6th grade, Mrs. White, who was my 6th grade teacher, she was like, you need to stop doodling. However, fast forward now that I am an older person, I literally, when I don't do this, I'm a professional artist, and I paint and I doodle and I draw and I make these little teeny robots. And I just want to say that Mrs. White was wrong. Keep doodling. Here's what I want you to do as an experience. This is something we do all the time, live and virtually in our own trainings. In the chat, I would love for you to write down 2 of your favorites. Favorites. So favorite what? You may be asking in your head silently. Favorite anything. So something you like to do, something you like to eat, someone you like to hang out with. Beware, it's going to be public. You're putting it in a chat, but whatever that is, 2 favorites, 15 seconds, do that first, and we'll see what shows up. You have a cascade of amazing things. I'm going to play 2. Okay, cool. Keep them coming, but if you've already written yours, here is your next job. Scan up and take a moment to simply look at what else has shown up in this chat from your colleagues, your new friends, strangers now friends that are here. Just take a moment, scan up, and just for your own mental, do this silently. It's like, oh yeah, me too. Wow, what's that about? You're almost having like conversations with these people without even having them. You're like, 2 cats, well, I've got 3 movies. I wonder which ones. So just look at these things and engage with them yourself. Right now, you don't even need to have a conversation with someone. It's just like, huh, right? Now you're going to see something here that gets you even more excited because it might have an affinity to you, right? So Peter Nero, you got squash. I'm like, yes, can't play it anymore, but I now play pickleball, and then someone's going to go, pickleball, me too. So there's lots going on here. We can start to find affinities. That's great. In particular, when we do a lot of work with teams where people don't know each other, or what's happening now a lot, which is teams that have been virtual start to get together. And so finding those affinities are really important. Create trust, space, creativity, co-creativity is what I'm most interested in here. Here's our next step. And I'm going to model this, and then you're all going to do it individually. So you're going to take something off of your list. So just pick one in your own mind. And then you're going to kind of just randomly run up and grab one. Don't take too much time. Something off of someone else's list. And here is your goal. You need to come up with, in the next 30 seconds, a made-up product or service by combining your thing and someone else's made-up product or service that does not exist currently in the world, right? That is the goal. So if, for example, one of my favorites was mango, and then I picked something up here like travel. I could start a business that is exclusively about traveling to the most richest, beautiful mango places or farms or sources in the world. It's just Mango Tour, and it's called Mango Tour. And you have to always wear orange when you take it. That's the idea. So I want you now for a moment to simply collide. Take your thing, collide it with someone else's, and once you have, put your idea into the chat. It could be the name of it. It could just be the product. You know, dog airlines, I've seen about 12,000 times. So whatever's good, fair game. You got 30 seconds to come up with your collision to make something that does not exist in the world, product or service. Go. The taco museum. That's got to exist, but maybe not. I love it. So that's the idea. You take your two things, don't just identify them, smash them to come up with that new thing. So chocolate and music, great. What's the new thing that's combined for that, Rick, as an example?
Like chocolate goat yoga.
Right. Chocolate goat yoga, pizza and TV. Here we go, Nicole. Right.
Ooh, opera
Travel the world
baseball.
eating the
That's
best
fun.
chips in the world. Great. Great. Kid adventures to try new food. Now, what a brilliant idea. By the way, just to say, since I introduced this game, we do own, at least, all the IP that shows up from this game. Thank you so much. These are amazing. Take another 10 seconds if you haven't done it. If you have done it, look at the brilliance of your colleagues. Look at what you can create by simply doing a few simple things. And I'm going to debrief this in a moment and tell you what you actually did. I love this game. I get so excited about this game. It brings up so many possibilities. If you ever watched improvisers on stage, which I have and have been on for years, you see them doing this. You see them taking one thing and another and co-creating something brand new that can add value. That's why I love that art form so incredibly much. I'm obsessed with it. So as these things keep rolling in, right? I mean, I'm going to ask you to come off mute. You can do a hand raise if you want or whatever, but what is speaking out to you? What are some of these ideas that are popping out where you're like, that is freaking amazing. I want to know more. So as you look at other people's ideas, what shows up for you? Kind of go, I just love, and fill in the blank for me. Let's hear 3 or 4 of these. Go for it.
I thought the singing telegram service for dogs is genius.
Yeah, amazing.
But do the dogs sing, or do the...
Yeah, that's going to be when we develop the product. Like, exactly. Terry, how does opera baseball work?
You dramatize the game as it sing through it. I guess you'd have to have a high level of improv.
Well, fair enough. Fair enough. You know how it works because this is your specialty, opera baseball. It's amazing. Anyone else? What else is want to know more about?
Sailing and martial arts. The smaller the boat, the more difficult it is.
Oh, so you're doing it on the boat? Whose idea is that? That's beautiful. So you have a small boat. Yeah. Aaron, is that you? That's amazing. One more that you're just like, I want to know more about this.
I would love to know more. Sorry. Go ahead.
Stefan, we'll hear both of you. Stefano, you go first.
I would love to know more about magic mango memories.
Okay, so give us two seconds. Magic mango memories. Whose is that? Tell us how it works. What is it?
That's a custom synthetic mango that makes you relive some of your favorite childhood taste memories. So, you know, that spaghetti that your mom used to make that you can't get anymore. Boom, right back in your mouth. And how did you like interface with it with your brain? Like you plug it into your head or something? It was more like a drug thing. Yeah. Oh, fair enough. It's a drug. It's a drug. Yeah, of course. Awesome. And Sheila, do you have one more curiosity on this?
No, I want to build a profitable business. This is a drop off all your kids and cats and dogs all in the same daycare. So it's going to be. Yeah,
of course. Why does that
business.
not exist? Why do you have to go to 2 different places for the dog and the kid?
Exactly. And they are your kids. If you don't have kids, your cats and dogs are your
kids. Oh my God. See, I swear, I played this game that is brilliant. There are some gems that show up where people are like, you know what? I'm quitting my job. I'm going to open up the dog kid daycare now. So let me just talk briefly about what is happening here from a very brief experience. You're doing a few things that I think are important. And I think they're important when you want to co-create with the world, actually. This is kind of how I try to live my life, actually, which is the first thing you did was you were a little bit vulnerable. You put something in this chat that was about you. So it's in your brain. Yeah, I like mangoes and golden doodles, but nobody knows that until I say it or write it down. There's a moment when an idea needs to leave that enclosed cranium of yours and get out into the world. That's vulnerability. You don't know what people are going to do with that. You don't know what people are going to react to that. So to be co-creative, you have to be vulnerable. You have to be incredibly curious. You guys looked at yours, yeah, but then you let go of your thing and looked at other people's, which gave you more ideas. And then lastly, you just did the beautiful, most amazing, inspiring thing I can ever think of, which is you just collided things. When you collide ideas, you literally create something new. That's when 1 + 1 can equal 5,000. But you have to be at a state of trust, a state of openness, a state of letting go of some ego and vulnerability to do it. So I just want to congratulate you. You did an amazing, sweet job, and we can really build on this now. Improvisers take one small, we call them offers, and we make them into something bigger. And we help people do that as well, and we're going to play with that a bit more. So I'm going to pass over to Nicole and Gib.
Yep. To your point, Gary, thank you. We're going to build off of it. So we're going to actually choose one of the collisions. Gary, to put Master of Improv, do you have anyone that's really giving you energy?
Oh my gosh. I've been too busy blabbing, but not alone looking. Let's see. Also, other people, just yell something out because you don't want to wait for me to find one.
Oh, I think we should do the kid dog daycare like that. That would be a great way to move forward, because that leaves us a lot of room for the next 2 exercises.
Great. Good job. Good idea.
Okay, so the collision there was the cats and dogs and daycare. So this is an interesting service, and via chat seems like there's some energy there.
Oh, yeah. Nicole, really fast too. Sheila added something, or Erica added something about also it could be in an assisted living facility. So that way you're also helping the elderly. So look at that.
Pet therapy, yes.
Right.
Love
so
it.
We've got kids and dogs is this sort of collision and daycare. It's kind of a triple. Great.
Love it.
All right. So now we're going to take that crazy mashup and well, give it a name. So all of us are going to take the next 2 minutes to rapidly free associate and brainstorm on your paper all your initial naming ideas for the product. So in order for this to be effective, try to write nonstop for the 2 minutes and just let your mind and hand run wild. No one will see your paper. So this is just for your initial rapid responses. So is everyone ready? We're going to do 2 minutes. All right. And Dave is going to play music. So when the music starts, go.
The trick here is not to stop. Just keep writing.
Keep writing, even if you think you've run out of ideas. Just keep going.
Got about a minute left. And this is a business that combines elder daycare, doggy daycare, and child daycare. About 30 seconds.
All right. Now we're going to randomly pair you up and jump you into breakout rooms. You're going to have 6 minutes this time to quickly introduce yourself to your new friend and then share your ideas. And the ultimate goal is to agree on your favorite name that you want to then share back with the group when we get back together. So if you are struggling to get it down to one, you by all means can come back with two, since you can't arm wrestle over who wins. Before we get you quickly into breakout rooms and meet your new friend, if you have any questions, drop them in the chat. We'll always be available for that. So the goal is to come back with your favorite product name. Enjoy.
It sounds like Rick really wants to be pitch his idea here.
And actually, let's follow Rick's lead. If everyone could put their favorite product name in the chat, and it's okay if you didn't decide who's going to do it. You could both do it. Drop in the chat your product name.
Tails and tails. These are great. Precious paws and pals. Little paws and big hearts.
Love it.
Oh, wait a minute. Furry friendly fossils.
Oh, these are great. Conjuring up lots of good energy. Rick, if you don't mind sharing, I'm curious about PPD. You could come off mute and share.
So PPD stands for Paws, People, and Daycare. So any of your four-legged friends you'd like to have daycare for, whether it be pets or cats or dogs, or we even said maybe skunks would not be allowed, but Paws and People and Daycare, yes.
That's awesome.
With a paw. I love it.
And real quick, Rick, like how did just this process, how did it help you arrive at that name?
It was really good because we threw 3 or 4 things out there, and we took the long names and said, okay, how would we put this in an acronym? So we couldn't just call it P&P or PP, okay, because we thought that would work well. So we were going all over the place. The person I worked with was really, really good to talk about things and think about things in a different perspective. So we had a lot of fun doing it. Yeah.
That's awesome. Thank you. All right. Well, one more. I'd love to hear. Let's go to Tamika. If you could come off mute, share the name, and equally important, just how did the process help you get to what you put in the chat?
All right. So we had a couple of ideas. So what we no one left behind. We was just thinking like, everyone should be able to go. The kids, the elderly, everyone. So that's how it came up. No one should be left behind.
You love it. The inclusivity. Very cool. And how was it in your breakout room? Easy, hard? Tell me a little bit more.
It was really easy. We discussed some of the ideas that we had came up with, and after we both heard the "No One Left Behind," we knew that was sold. It sealed the deal for us. So yeah, it was really cool, and we got to, had the opportunity to talk a little bit about ourselves and learn a little bit more about what we do and how this particular session is really helpful for what we do in our day to day.
That's awesome. Thank you, Tamika, because it's
thank you.
I don't know, folks are like I'll speak for myself. I can get all up in my head about like just the thought of being creative. So it's really cool to hear that the process is unfolding with some awesome ideas. So thank you for putting those in the chat. And really just the kind of put a bow on this activity shows that sometimes brainstorming virtually can actually be an advantage. And for 2 reasons: that you can develop ideas very quickly and you can develop multiple options simultaneously. So there were, I don't even know the number, but X number of breakout rooms, and you were able to all generate ideas that you now see in the chat. So Gary's now going to take us through this last step. Really, we're kind of waterfalling going into our next activity. So Gary, take it away.
Thanks, Nicole. So you've got a name, or you've got a candidate for a name. We'll want you just to hold on to one of those names that you put up there into the chat. And then we're just going to move this on. Many of you have heard this idea, the idea of yes-anding ideas. It comes from the world of improvisation. There's other language for this. It simply means you recognize an offer, anything that happens, and you do something with it. You build upon it. And we're going to play with this very classic yes and idea to create an instant marketing campaign for your new service and product here. So David, maybe you and I could just do this as a quick demo together. David, why don't you grab one of the titles, the names of this beautiful business that you like, and tell me what that is.
I'm gonna roll with the Furry and Furless Kid The Furry and Furless Kids Daycare.
Furry and fearless? Is that what I heard you say?
Furless.
Furless. Oh, furry and furless kid daycare. Great. Furry and furless. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. David and I are going to demonstrate this. When you get into your breakouts, you might have 3 versus 2, but it's the same process. One of us
Gary,
is just
I'm
going
gonna
to talk.
I'm gonna pause you for a quick second. I'm looking at time, and we are running a
Okay.
little over. So what I think we could do is, rather than take the time to put people in breakouts, are you cool if we just demo this part?
Yeah, let's just demo it.
Because
Sounds good.
I don't want to have people run late. So you all can take a breath and go, wow, I don't have to be an improver, or maybe we'll pull one other person in. But
So who would you like to pull in, David?
Let's pull in. I'm looking at Peter. He's having a drink. He thought he was going to get relaxed, and not a
All right,
chance.
Peter. So we're going to
All
go
good.
cascade this.
All
We're going to
good.
probably do several rounds of it between the 3 of us. Here's how
Nice.
it's going to work. I'm going to start by talking about how to do an instant marketing campaign. And I'm going to say things like, and this is appropriate, let's advertise on the back of dogs in the neighborhood. Let's put posters and dog jackets on the back of dogs. And then David's going to say yes and to that and build on that idea. What happens next, David?
Yes, and I love the idea of the jackets on the back of dogs, and I think we should also have poop bags that are branded Furly and Furless, so that way when we're using them, the people will see that and ask questions.
Right. Yes, and Peter, to that idea.
Yeah, yes, and I think we should add grooming service, and so I think we can shave a little bit of advertisement in dogs, and we give free grooming for the people that allow us to shave our name into our logo, maybe into their pet, so as they walk around the neighborhood.
Yes, and to build on all those ideas, I think you could do that with kids and the elderly. So for kids, you could advertise on diapers, maybe for the elderly too. Sorry, but I'm saying it. You could also shave into kids' heads and into the elderly if they give you permission and if they're up for it. Maybe they won't be, so don't do it if they're not. So you could just build on that with all of the different clientele. Back to you, David.
Yes, and I'm envisioning with this idea of furless and the shaving of heads, we could do locks for love. We could be supporting those elderly who might have cancer by shaving the kids' heads and donating their fur.
Amazing.
Yes,
Peter,
and
one more?
I think we should add some the tattooing services, whether it's our brand or just in general, or tattoo removing services, so we have a very inclusive audience of either way.
Okay, see, look at that. Amazing. Probably so many illegal activities happening in that marketing campaign, but we don't care about that. We care about the creativity that created it. So I will say this very quickly. I know we're short on time. When you improvise, you do 3 things. When you're improvising like this, you're able to let go, notice more, and use everything. 3 tenets that we infuse all of our work with when we work with organizations. When you improvise, you let go, you notice more, use everything, and then you create something amazing and new. And that's how we've been playing for today. So just thanks for playing with that. Back to you, David.
Wonderful, Gary. So let me just jump back to my slides. All right. So yeah, the time flies, doesn't it? And we really just scratched the surface. So we're hoping that with these 5 activities, you've become a little bit more inspired into ways that you could overcome some of those creativity barriers that we started with. Again, this is really just the beginning. We would obviously love to help you further along in your creative journeys. And so I want to show you a few of the offerings we have coming up. This is what we're doing now is brought about by EXLEARN Talks. And so we are in an EXLEARN Talk. We've got another one coming up, moderated by Zach Ryland, on maximizing culture for growth. So if you really want to lean in on that idea of culture, that's on February 22nd. We also have a bunch of workshops this spring, everything from generative AI to onboarding experience. And the one on the farthest right there is leveraging creativity to become a more effective leader. If you want to join that one, you'll be seeing me and Gib and Nicole again. We're going to be leading that one. That's a 2-hour one. And then we have Explain is a group of highly creative tier oneers, and they're going to be leaning into these ideas of facilitation strategies. So if you really want to hone your facilitation skills, these are two more. There's a webinar and then a course that'll be offered, and then finally, we have an EXLEARN conference annually, and so there is if you want to speak at it, we are now accepting submissions for speakers. If you're not a speaker but you are really want to lean into the idea of HR and talent, change management, creativity, it's a really great intimate conference of like around 250 people. It's in Red Stadium. It's a really great a great feeling and a lot of great content that happens there. And then I'm going to kick it back over to Gary. This is a little blurb from Gary's On Your Feet website and some things that he does. Gib, if you wouldn't mind at this point, drop in how people can reach out to Gary if they want to talk with him about his services. Gary, anything you want to add?
Oh, thanks. First of all, just thanks so much for the opportunity, you guys, for letting me being here, and love playing with all of you. Such a great way to do it. On Your Feet, we would love to engage with any or all of you as well. You can find me on LinkedIn. I'd love to be friends with all of you. And really, we explore how to build teams, how to create more engaging presentations, more breakthrough ideas, and we do it with interactivity and experience. And we'd be excited to engage with any of that with you. So please reach out if you can, and the info is there in the chat. Thanks, David.
Thanks, Gary. Last thing, we have a survey about this experience. We are really keen to hear from you, how it worked for you, how you might improve it. It's just 4 quick questions. It won't take you any time at all. I'm going to ask Gib to drop that link in the chat now. And so when you leave, if you wouldn't mind going in there and filling out that survey, it won't take you long. You heard Gary also talking about making offers. We have, and you have Gib, Nicole, and I are making an offer to you, actually. We are going to give away a 6-hour team creativity workshop. And these 6 hours take place virtually over multiple meetings with your team. We help your team members, again, embrace personal creativity, team creativity, creative process, as well as creative culture. So it's immersive, and it's our free gift to one of you out there if you're interested. So please, in the survey, drop your name and your email, and then I will reach out to you. Gary, thank you again from all of us for this fun collaboration. It meant a lot for us to be working with you. So for everyone, enjoy your afternoon. Please click on the survey in the chat and stay creatively brave. Thank you.